All right, so we're doing lots of sanding. Imagine that, but we're almost there. Big thing is the Trans Am. It looks exactly like it did in the last video. So we got Joe here. He is doing the crosshatch. You've heard me talk about that a few times. It's like the #1 thing you got to know about bodywork. And right now it's even that much more important because we're trying to make sure any sand marks, anything we've got does not show up. So when you're going like this, and you can see he's going this way and this way down through here, as big a stroke as he can get while staying away from the edges for the most part. Very light because we're at 600 grit, and with 600 grit, he's cleaning his tape or his sandpaper a lot, just because it does pick up a lot in the tiny little nooks and crannies that it's got. So it does cut a little bit, but in a different sense of it's just taking very finite layers off and plugging it up. But the hood's a great spot to do this crosshatch to really see it in action, because this thing is going to be flat. And we got to make sure it looks really good, no low spots. And I'll show you on some B-roll. We'll wipe this off, and you'll see some spots that are kind of showing through as high spots, low spots, and whatnot, to really just laser flatten this thing out. So let's take a look. Joe just started doing this. You can see here, we've got different colors of gray. We've even got some black here. This is some of the darker high build. Starting to just level this out a little bit more, and while it does look a little rough, it will come together. So we got these high points here, these body lines, these sharp ones. What some guys will do is run tape on each side, which we'll get to that, but right now I'm more knocking down this first kind of layer that has a little bit of like orange peel in it. And as you can see, I'm not going up over it. I'm kind of going up to it. I am passing that line with my sandpaper block, but I'm keeping on that plane, so I'm going up with it instead of up and then down, because then what I'm doing is the flatness of this translates to the flatness of this line. And if you see, nice and light, you can see that line start to build down in there. And if I keep this clean, you can kind of see that line straightening out, and I'll do that on both sides to knock it down. And that'll eventually just make us a nice straight line down through there and look nice. So the back of this hood has a little curvature up to it, and what I like to use are foam noodles. They're pretty, solid for the most part, but they have a little bit of give, and they're curved. So again, really light. You can take this and do the crosshatch and keep that curve sanded on a flat plane like this, but all the way down through there. And you can see we've got some good coverage with this all the way down through. That's consistent, and it helps just get that curve as opposed to doing a flat spot like that. So as you can see here, there's some color. What we did was went ahead and sprayed the jams just to really get in this stuff without anything on it. We'll get up in there, or we did get up in there with all of this. This black paint, you can see right here what we're going to look like. Nice and smooth. The full amount of coats, this is going to be what it's going to be. So when we do start getting door panels and everything back on, which they're on, but like once we get them all set and good, this exterior will blend into this, and the bumper goes on here, tail lights go on here, stuff goes on here that, would otherwise be covered up. So, we got to get this first. It just kind of helps the process, look a lot cleaner, and the transition, looks so much nicer. So There is technically paint on here. I did say there would be paint on here in the next video, and here you go.
A couple more passes the windshield will out. That's the only one that's really concerning, but it'll come out.
Yeah.
It's just...
And worse, anything that's too bad, you know, we can just kind of feather out.
Yeah.
So what Austin's talking about here is, you know, we're doing this crosshatch on like a very curvy piece here. You know, it's not the big flat hood, which, you know, Joe's getting away with the easy job. But there's some little tiny, just, you know, minuscule, not holes, but not craters either, but we're going to call them craters because that's what they are on a, you know, very small microscopic scale. And some of them are bigger than others, and you're seeing them now that we're, you know, doing this. A lot of that stuff should go out as we just continue just to kind of cut that last primer, because it's not there, it's not in the body, it's not in the metal or anything like that. It's just, you know, with primer it's thicker, so it comes out and lays a little heavier than base and clear, and you know, it may just be a weird splotch that came out of my gun when I was coming down through here, you know, and then just, who knows. But that stuff goes away, but you know, some do look bigger than others, so what we can do, if they are too deep, we can feather that out to where you won't see it, and it's going to be black, but usually that stuff does go away. But you know, again, sometimes it's just, you know, here and there it looks like, oh no, but it comes out. We'll be fine. So as you can see, the heavy lifting is done. You know, we've done the body work, the big stuff, fixed everything. It's just very finesse, light, very light 600 grit sanding to get this ready for the base and clear. But because of that, it is a lot of sanding, so I'm going to have to get back to it real quick. But yeah, we'll see. Oh hey, just like that, you have a painted car. Check it out. All right, so we got this back from paint, as you can tell. You know, it was literally just 5 seconds. That's how long it took to paint it. Just kidding. It was quite the process. You know, we took it up. We actually just missed the hail that was here in mid-Missouri by like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
We've spent 60 days, 90 days almost, probably 60, on body work. And then the day I drive it to the paint booth, we get hailed on. That'd have been bad, but we didn't. We just missed it. But here she is in all her glory. We've got, you know, lots of tape on it when we're doing stuff around the paint, putting these new door handles on. But we've really just been primarily focused on the interior and the engine bay because over here out of frame is a mess of engine stuff, and you'll see why it was a mess. We were hoping to have this in for this video, but it was not going to be in there. But we did get the wiring done in here. We have to a little more cleanup to do with it, but it's looking, you know, really nice. We've got everything in here, all the custom stuff we're doing with this car setup. But as you can see, it looks a lot worse than it really is, because we're gonna, you know, add some, you know, stuff here and there that's going to make it flow a little bit better, stuff it up in there a little bit better, and where it's not rubbing, you know, because if you get wire rubbing on certain areas, that's just going to wear away that insulation. So some things here and there, but once we get the new dash in, it should go right in there, fit just fine. We've got the ECU for the gauge system, has its own little computer system. I said ECU, but you know what I mean, a little computer set that runs all your inputs go into it, and then it literally shoots out all the gauge data on like a little Ethernet cord. So it's over there, but the dash and the gauges are over here. It just made it it was that much more convenient to put it over there out of the way and give us more room instead of stuffing everything right here, which is what a lot of people do. Then you have no room because we've got a few auxiliary items that have extra fuses on top of the fuse block, and we want to make sure there's plenty of room for all of these extra fuses for like the Terminator set. There's 2 fuses with that, the fuel pump
relay. It's got its own fuse, and then the what else was there? There was one more thing that had its own. The HVAC. They didn't provide a battery-powered HVAC line in this set, so we had to make our own directly to the battery for this set to run the vintage air that's going to go on this. So outside of that, we it's looking pretty good, and it's so close. I mean, it's really get that engine and transmission in, put the drive shaft in, and just hook up all the hoses, put the fluids in. We're there. We're getting really close, so it's pretty exciting stuff.
The pilot bearing in the kit is incorrect for the application, has been corrected in our system, needs new part number 545-41100, which is that new roller style, and needs that new bearing, no charge, reshipped as soon as possible.
And just like that, you have Austin. Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Boom, nailed it.